No way. Dude, chill. I'm sweating like a sinner in church, man. So under the hood is a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder direct injection with the 6-speed automatic dual clutch transmission, which is something you do not find in hybrids. Yeah, it's definitely dirty. This is probably one of my pet peeves about vehicles, especially in the US. We don't have enough projector headlight housings. It has a unique grille because it doesn't need as much cooling as a regular combustion engine. You gotta love Kia's Tiger Nose. Notice how much the door swings out. It's ingress and egress. As you can see, getting inside is no problem. And you are met with an absolutely ridiculous amount of space for the driver. I'm talking maddening space. Look at my legs. I feel like a child in this car because it is just absolutely cavernous, but it's not huge on the outside. You can't beat that. Tilt telescopic steering wheel with a ridiculous range of motion. Up, pow, pow. My goodness, look at that. I actually, believe it or not, have to put this down a little bit. What? Because, or else I wouldn't actually be able to see the gauge cluster fully, at least not to my liking. The seat is manual in the LX, which is what this package is. I like this package and I don't like this package, and here's why. I like this package because this is the package that gives you a lot of tech and a lot of features, except for rear vents for the passengers, rear vents that are above the floor. I don't think, for cooling at least, having vents for the rear passengers just on the floor level, that's not adequate. You have to get the EX trim and up. This is the LX, which is one step below that. But I like this package when it comes to its fuel economy because, ironically enough, the more you pay for these, the less fuel economy you get. The more tech you add to it, the more features you add to it, the heavier this vehicle is, and thus gets worse fuel economy. The LX package will get you 51 city and 49 highway, I believe it is. There's a lot of cars that are going to electric park brake, but I like the foot pedals. And as you can see, it does not intrude that much on your space. The one thing that I don't think gets enough credit is how high the headrest comes up in these cars. That is absolutely ridiculous. I love it because it actually fits me. It's rare that any vehicle has a headrest that comes up high enough to actually hit the back of my head in a spot to where I don't feel like it would decapitate me. I was so surprised to see that. It's got plenty of cup holders. A very comfortable place to be in. I got to tell you, the quality, ever since 2011, the quality of Hyundai Kia has just exponentially exploded. Push button start, of course. You're greeted with a little tune. It is a whopping 95 degrees right now, so it's pretty hot. Let me close the door here. sweating bullets out here. I've been averaging about 47.9 miles per gallon, not even trying in this thing. With the air conditioning going, it's been over 100 degrees. The infotainment, it comes standard with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which is gotta be my favorite feature of any car. Kia decided to do the traditional route when it comes to their shifter. The good old-fashioned park reverse neutral drive, and then you've got a sport mode here that you can shift into. And since this is a 6-speed dual clutch automatic transmission, you can actually shift up and down, and it will actually wait. It will not shift automatically, at least as far as I was comfortable pushing it. But down here for your phone, you do have two 12-volt power outlets here, an aux cable, if any phone actually still has an aux input anymore, and of course a USB that directly links your car to the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. I like the placement of the vents. I think they're spaced properly. Nice soft touch materials up here. Plastic here, of course plastic here. Easy to clean surfaces here. Two cup holders. A nice little cubby hole right here. It kind of makes me wonder, this looks like a spot where a parking brake handle would have been. I like it right there because it leaves more space up here, and I just find the pedal to be easier to use. It's got buttons on the steering wheel, your cruise, and where you can change the display here. You can see how everything's going, including the energy flow. I'm not doing anything right now, so. And of course it's got all the goodies for the hands-free everything. I do like how it has dual climate control. I absolutely love that. So when you push the button for the driver, it will only unlock the driver door. It's running right now, or it's on, so it's not going to do it. However, when you push the button for the passenger side to allow passengers to get in, all doors open. I do like that feature. Something to think about. For the rear hatch, you don't have to push anything but one button and it comes up. And this thing is super light, by the way. Absolutely ridiculously light. Love that. Getting into the back seat behind myself. Now the seat is all the way in its tracks, all the way back as far as it can possibly go. So this is not impossible. Now mind you, I don't have to. And this is so weird to say, it is not imperative to have my seat as far back in its tracks as possible. I am totally comfortable with having the seat just a little bit forward to have more leg room for the rear passenger if need be. The headroom is ridiculous. Even if I stand straight up like this, which nobody ever would, I still cannot get my hair to touch the headliner. Impressive. All the way back, no problem. The back seat does not recline, however, it does fold flat for better cargo capacity. It also does not slide forward and aft. However, you cannot touch that fuel economy. So this is all the way back in its track. Now, if I slide over to the passenger seat where somebody of average height of 6 feet or below is sitting, then you find yourself with quite a bit of leg room. This seat can actually come back just a little bit. As I said before, you will not find rear vents on the center armrest for the front passengers for air to flow towards the face of rear passengers. You have to get the EX model and above to get that. There are also no charging anything back here. You do have two cup holders right here and an armrest. This car is not as wide as others, but two people back here will fit just fine. Even though the middle section of this seat is raised, of course they always are, my head still does not touch the headliner. Very impressive. Good job, Kia. Underneath this seat, you will find, that's where they decided to put the hybrid battery, the big pack. This is an air vent for cooling. In doing this means that there is way more cargo room in the back area. I say that's a win. That's also why this seat does not slide forward and back. Cup holders in the door here for water bottles, not your coffee cup. I did find it somewhat surprising that it didn't have auto up and down for every window. It's just the driver window. Maybe in a higher package, but not this one. This car does have lane keep assist and adaptive cruise control, which on the highway is just one of those things that makes long road trips bearable. It takes a good 30 seconds or so if you keep your hands off the wheel for the lane keep assist to yell at you and beep at you, telling you to put your hands back on the wheel. But for a hot second or two, if you were distracted, disclaimer, don't do that. But if you were to be distracted for like a tenth of a second, let's say you drop something and you know exactly where it is and you don't really have to take your attention off the road, but then you do in a way, you can do that and you won't be careening into somebody. That's a very nice feature to have.
So the cargo area is not super massive, but it's not teeny tiny either. It'll definitely get the groceries in there. It does have fold flat seats, which are super easy. One button push and they flop right down. My seat is too far back, of course, as a driver, so it doesn't go flat. But believe me, it goes flat. It's a super flat load floor. No spare. You do get cubby holes. And you do get a fix-a-flat kit and an inflator, but no spare. That kind of bothers me. Even though you do have space for one, maybe aftermarket. I'm gonna be honest with you, there is actually not too many things I can gripe about this car. I like the design, I like the headlights, I like the visibility, forward and backwards. Even the rearview mirrors are solid. I don't like that the air conditioning vents for the rear are non-existent except for the floor level. With being in Arizona, it's hot here, so air conditioning is kind of top priority. The only other gripe that I have is I don't love the transmission. It's nothing bad. It's not like it's wrong. It's just that most hybrids have a very smooth, electrically controlled, continuously variable transmission, which is not the same as just a regular CVT. Regular CVT has like this rubbery feel because it's chain driven or metallic belt driven, and that's a little off-putting. The Kia Niro has an automatic transmission just like you would find in every other gasoline car. So when you're in EV mode at slow speeds, feeling that transmission shift between like first and second gear and second gear back to first gear is a little off-putting. It's not bad, but I just don't love that feeling. If you're coming from a regular gasoline car with an automatic transmission, that won't even feel any different to you. So that's just me. Other than that, I think this is a fantastic car. Pre-COVID, I'm sure the prices will be right. Post-COVID, if there is such a thing, hopefully the price will be right again. As for right now, these things are probably overpriced as every other car is now, but it's still a fantastic car no matter which way you slice it. If it were my money, I would still get the same package, even though I hate to admit that vent thing, that really gets me. But at the end of the day, this is still a fantastic car. I definitely recommend you check this out. Alrighty folks, that wraps up this episode. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. A lot of information in this one, good information. Got a lot more videos coming your way. I'm in the process of editing more. Hope everybody stays safe out there. I will definitely see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.